John Wick Chapter 4 has kicked down the doors of theaters the world over, tactically dispatching box office records in the process. So we decided it was time to cast a light on the shadowy world of assassins with 107 facts about John Wick's latest venture. I don't know any gun fu, but I do know 107 facts about John Wick Chapter 4.
Welcome to Cinematica, your new home for all things movies and TV. From Doctor Who to Harry Potter, we'll be going through all your favorites and favorites you didn't even know you had. Before we begin, we publish new videos every week, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video.
Number 1. Just like the first 3 chapters of the John Wick series, John Wick Chapter 4 is helmed and directed by Chad Stahelski. Number 2. Before hopping into the director's chair with John Wick, Stahelski was originally a stuntman. He actually worked with Keanu Reeves as Keanu's stuntman in the Matrix movies. Number 3. John Wick Chapter 4 was first announced by Lionsgate on May 20th, 2019, just 3 days after John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum was released. Number 4. Die-hard John Wick fans received the announcement through an opt-in texting update service for the series. The message read, "You have served, you will be of service." The message also gave an original release date of May 21st, 2021. Number 5. John Wick 4 was planned to be the same release day as the 4th Matrix movie, The Matrix Resurrections. The latest Matrix also shares DNA with John Wick, of course, from Keanu Reeves as Neo to Chad Stahelski's Matrix history. He even has a cameo in the movie. Number 6. Due to the pandemic, in May 2020, that initial release date was pushed back by a whole year. From there, the new release date was May 27th, 2022. Number 7. Right around the time of the delay, John Wick 4's writers were brought onto the project. This time, however, Lionsgate didn't go for Derek Kolstad, creator and writer of the first 3 John Wick movies. Number 8. When Kolstad originally wrote John Wick, he pitched the screenplay as a story called Scorn. Of course, he pitched it to Thunder Road Pictures, the production company behind John Wick. Number 9. Thunder Road Pictures signed Keanu Reeves to the movie in 2013, and he suggested the title of the movie be simply changed to the main character of Scorn, John Wick. Number 10. John Wick was actually named after Kolstad's maternal grandfather of the same name. Number 11. With Kolstad out, the studio brought in Shay Hatton as the main writer instead. Hatton already had experience with John Wick, as co-writer with Kolstad on John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. He also wrote the story for the upcoming John Wick spin-off, Ballerina. Number 12. Later, Stahelski himself brought writers Ricky Staub and Dan Walzer on board to write Chapter 4. He was thoroughly impressed by their film Concrete Cowboy. Number 13. However, within a month's time, Staub and Walzer were out and were replaced as Hatton's co-writers by Predator's writer Michael Finch. Number 14. Principal filming for John Wick Chapter 4 began June 28th, 2021. Number 15. The movie was filmed on location all over the world, including New York City, Germany, Japan, and Paris, France. Number 16. Towards the beginning of the movie, there's a scene that actually takes place in a desert. Not only was that filmed in a real desert, it was actually filmed at the same rock where Lawrence of Arabia was filmed. Number 17. Filming in Paris was particularly difficult. The team had filmed in Germany first, but filming got stalled there, delaying the Paris filming by about 2 weeks. Number 18. Time was slipping away and the film crew was already under the gun. Even worse, Stahelski would often cancel planned Paris filming locations while improvising others, with little notice for Parisian film staff and authorities. Number 19. Stahelski's on-the-fly process became frustrating for staff like Pascal Ricourt, the general manager of John Wick 4's Parisian team. According to Ricourt, when Stahelski noticed his concerned face, Stahelski simply told him, "We were born to suffer." Number 20. Stahelski wanted to shoot at a number of locations featured in the Jean-Pierre Jeunet movie Amélie. While that movie is decidedly not John Wick, Stahelski was eager to shoot action scenes in the same places. Number 21. Specific Parisian locations featured in the movie included the Arc de Triomphe, as well as a sunken cathedral known as La Défense Cathedral. Number 22. The subway station where John Wick meets Winston and the Bowery King is a little-used real Parisian subway stop called Porte de Lila. The station is regularly rented to film crews so they can film in a genuine Paris subway without stopping the more major lines on the network. Number 23. The stairs fight scene was filmed on the 222 stairs going up to the Sacré-Cœur Basilica. Number 24. When Stahelski came to fight coordinator Jeremy Marinas with the stair fight concept, Marinas' first concept was, "My quads and hammies are gonna kill me," and yet he described it as just another day at work. Number 25. Scouting the location, Stahelski first saw the stairs directly facing the Basilica and was underwhelmed by how intimidating they didn't look. So he shopped around a little more and found the much more harrowing stairs on the left side of the building. Once he saw those, he and his stunt team knew it was perfect. Number 26. Stahelski and his team filmed this scene over the course of 7 different nights. Occasionally, the crew would have to wait for the cable car to carry tourists up the stairs. Number 27. 35 different stunt people were involved in the scene. By fight coordinator Scott Rogers' count, one particular stuntman was killed by John Wick at least 5 or 6 different times. Number 28. For some shots, padded stairs were added as a hidden way to soften the blow. However, the stuntmen often had to take the brunt of the actual stairs during the shoot. Thankfully, aside from some bruises, no one suffered a concussion. Number 29. Even John Wick himself was daunted by the stairs. For the moment where John Wick exasperatedly looks at the stairs, Stahelski felt that the shot was 50% the character and 50% Keanu Reeves himself. Number 30. Among all the stuntmen killed, Keanu Reeves actually kept count. When filming was over, Reeves gifted each of the stuntmen a t-shirt featuring the number of times they were killed on screen. Some stuntmen's death count climbed higher than 20. Number 31. For his personal 5-man team of stuntmen, Keanu Reeves gave each of them a $10,000 Rolex Submariner watch, each one with a personalized message on the back. Number 32. Keanu, of course, did a number of stunts himself. When you see John Wick on the stairs, it's all him, except for the really big stair fall, as Stahelski put it. Number 33. That fall was performed by Vincent Bouillon, Keanu Reeves' stunt double throughout the film. That particular fall actually needed 2 takes because Bouillon got stuck on a railing during the first take. Number 34. Bouillon was offered the job through his connection with Laurent Demianoff, the stunt choreographer for John Wick Chapter 4. The two had worked together on a different film, and Demianoff threw Bouillon's name out there as a possibility for Keanu's stunt double when it came time to make John Wick. Number 35. To prepare for the stunts he did himself, Keanu Reeves went through 12 weeks of martial arts and stunt driving training. Number 36. Of course, given the nature of a movie like John Wick, accidents can happen. According to Vincent Bouillon, during one shoot, Reeves was supposed to punch someone. Well, he said Reeves thought he accidentally hit the guy too hard, even though the stuntman was fine. Number 37. From there, even just thinking he hurt the stuntman, Reeves profusely apologized. Reeves had even described the incident as cutting a gentleman's head open, even though he hadn't done any actual harm. Number 38. Bouillon also mentioned that Reeves would go out of his way to ensure the stunt team had the best catering possible on set. Number 39. Of course, Keanu Reeves was nice to everybody on set too, not just the stuntmen. For every new filming location, he would make a personal introduction to the new crew that he was meeting, thanking them for being there. Number 40. Keanu even invited Vincent Bouillon to John Wick 4's Paris premiere. He personally texted him an invite a year and a half after filming had wrapped. Number 41. Stahelski has said that the top-down action scene with the Dragon's Breath shotgun was inspired by a 2019 video game called Hong Kong Massacre. Number 42. The set for this sequence was built in Studio Babelsberg in Potsdam, Germany, and overseen by production designer Kevin Kavanagh. Number 43. To make the sequence work, the team spent a month building the 7-chamber structure with 12 to 14 foot high walls, and they just barely beat the buzzer. The set was finished on a Sunday night, with filming slated to begin Monday morning. Number 44. Even more impressively, the entire scene was shot in one continuous take. Almost. According to Stahelski, the only cut happens just before the guys in the kitchen are lit on fire. Number 45. As for making the scene look as good as possible on camera, that task fell to the cinematographer for John Wick Chapter 4, Dan Lawston. Number 46. To pull it off, Lawston used a spider cam, a special camera set up with 4 wires attached to the 4 corners of the set and operated with a joystick. This allowed the camera to move freely, tilting, panning, and zooming in on actors when it needed to. Number 47. Lawston even used a particular camera and lenses to capture as many details as possible. Compared to John Wick's 2 and 3, Lawston said that the camera for this scene had bigger formats and bigger sensor options. Number 48. One take meant no mistakes, so Laurent Demianoff perfected the scene's choreography over the course of 3 weeks in preparation for the shoot. Number 49. When the scene was originally shot, the incendiary bullets from the dragon's breath weren't actually there. The flames were actually added in post-production as visual effects. Number 50. After the scene was first shot, watching it back, it didn't look nearly as impressive as they'd hoped. Apparently, it was so unimpressive that the whole scene was actually in danger of being cut from the film before temporary visual effects were added to show how it was supposed to look. With a more completed vision to see, the scene made the cut. Number 51. Filming that scene was difficult for sure, but the shootout at the Arc de Triomphe was the most dangerous, according to Chad Stahelski. Number 52. The shoot for that scene featured 20 to 30 stuntmen, all driving 40 miles per hour across 4 lanes of cars, all trying not to hit Keanu Reeves as he weaves between them. Stahelski knew how easy it was for things to go wrong. Number 53. While safety was the primary concern, this particular scene added an additional challenge: the clock. The team couldn't film with the actual Arc de Triomphe in the background, as they would only have been allowed 4 hours of filming per night, which wasn't enough. Number 54. So for the sake of time, the fight itself was actually filmed at Tegel Airport in Berlin. All of the background shots of the Arc de Triomphe were added in post-production. Number 55. It took 8 months to put the Arc de Triomphe shots together using shots of the Arc itself from all sorts of angles. Eventually, the post-production team put the whole shot together with the stunts in front of the digitally added Arc in the background. Number 56. Despite all of the delays and general difficulties, filming for John Wick Chapter 4 concluded on October 27th, 2021. Number 57. While John Wick has tons of influences behind it, for Chapter 4, Stahelski specifically pulled from the 1979 film The Warriors. Funny enough, Warriors alum David Patrick Kelly was actually in the first 2 John Wick movies as Charlie. Kelly played the villain Luther in The Warriors. Number 58. Aside from the general structure of the movie, there's even a direct Warriors reference: the DJ in Paris. Like the DJ in The Warriors, she keeps everyone updated on John Wick's location, and is even filmed from the eyes down in the exact same way. Number 59. If you can believe it, the John Wick series was actually intended to be a trilogy. The first film was a one-off, but after its massive success, there were initially only plans to expand the series into a trilogy. A 4th film was never planned. Number 60. While the first 3 John Wick films take place in one continuous sequence, there's actually a time skip for Chapter 4. It's set several months after Chapter 3, so John Wick has had some time to recover since the events of Parabellum. Number 61. Watching John Wick Chapter 4, you'll recognize plenty of familiar faces in the mix. Ian McShane is back as Winston Scott, Lawrence Fishburne is back as the Bowery King, and Lance Reddick is back as Charon. Number 62. Tragically, Lance Reddick passed away from natural causes on March 17th, 2023, a week before the film's theatrical debut. Number 63. At the movie's premiere, to pay respects to Lance Reddick, Keanu Reeves and the other stars wore blue ribbons, blue being Reddick's favorite color. Number 64. Reddick's untimely passing makes John Wick Chapter 4 his final completed film role, though he had filmed a number of scenes for Ballerina and is set to appear in that movie as well. Number 65. For all the returning characters, there are a number of new characters in Chapter 4. Perhaps one of the deadliest is Donnie Yen playing Kane, John Wick's old friend and the deadly high table assassin. Number 66. At first, Kane was a very different character to look at. In the original script, his name was Shang or Chang, by Yen's account, and the character wore a Mandarin collar. Number 67. Yen felt the initial version of the character was too much of a stereotype, so he worked with Stahelski to rework the character into the Kane we see in the film, complete with the slick suit the assassins in John Wick are known for. Number 68. Kane's distinct blindness was inspired by Zatoichi, the story of a blind wandering swordsman, first created by Kon Shimozawa in 1984. Number 69. Funny enough, this is not the first time Donnie Yen has played a blind martial arts master. Yen also played the blind yet force-sensitive monk Chirrut Imwe in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Number 70. Kane is hardly John Wick's only new adversary though. There's also Bill Skarsgård as Marquis Vincent de Gramont. Number 71. When offered, Skarsgård was excited to take the role. He liked that it seemed to be intended for an older actor, and he's been a fan of Keanu Reeves since he first saw The Matrix when he was 8 years old. Number 72. playing the character, Skarsgård was told the Marquis had no backstory. This was an exhilarating prospect for Skarsgård. He got to make the character's backstory up all on his own. Number 73. Writing the Marquis, Michael Finch described him as one of the most loathsome characters in the 4 movies, and they needed an actor who could express a fake formalism and politeness at the same time. Number 74. Things are bad enough between Kane and de Gramont, but there's still more gunning for John Wick. For instance, there's a new character, Mr. Nobody, aka the Tracker, played by Shamir Anderson. Number 75. For his performance, Anderson said he was inspired by Heath Ledger's version of the Joker in The Dark Knight. He said you knew, like the Joker, that the Tracker had a robust yet mysterious past. Number 76. Anderson put his own personal twists into the character, though we wouldn't see it just watching the movie. Anderson regularly wrote in Mr. Nobody's notebook at home and packed his backpack with dog toys, treats, and even lighters with the actor's name engraved on it. Number 77. At 2 hours and 49 minutes, John Wick Chapter 4 is the longest John Wick movie so far, and a full hour longer than the first. Number 78. Amazingly, the original cut was even longer, clocking in at 225 minutes, just a quarter shy of 4 hours long. Number 79. Despite the lengthy runtime of the movie, John Wick himself says very little the whole time. In fact, he only says 380 words throughout the movie, almost a third of which are monosyllabic responses like yeah. Number 80. Turns out this was Keanu Reeves' decision. He took a look at the original script and pared down a ton of John Wick's written dialogue. Number 81. John Wick's longest line in the movie is hardly a monologue either. At one point he says to Shimazu Koji, "You and I left a good life behind a long time ago, my friend." That's it. Just 14 words. Number 82. Shimazu Koji is actually played by Hiroyuki Sanada. He and Keanu Reeves both starred in 47 Ronin together. Number 83. Chad Stahelski first created the role of Koji specifically with Hiroyuki Sanada in mind. Number 84. Sanada was approached to play Zero in John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, but he backed out to appear in Avengers Endgame instead. The role then went to Mark Dacascos. Number 85. However, Stahelski left the name of the character up to Sanada himself. Sanada decided to call the character Shimazu after a large name in the Kagoshima countryside, where Sanada's mother grew up. Number 86. The family name was set, but Keanu Reeves and Donnie Yen wanted their characters to call Shimazu by his first name as a sign of familiarity. They felt that the last name would be too distant, but the character didn't have a first name. Number 87. So Sanada pulled the first name Koji from one of the choreographers on set, Koji Kawamoto. Sanada asked if he could use his name, and Kawamoto gave a delighted but surprised yes. Number 88. As for Koji's daughter, Akira, she's played by Rina Sawayama, a Japanese singer. John Wick Chapter 4 is actually her first feature-length film. Number 89. Stahelski offered her the role after randomly seeing the music videos for her songs XS and Bad Friend on YouTube. He was impressed by her choreography, so he felt she'd be a good fit and called her to offer the role within a day's time. Number 90. Rina Sawayama actually performs the song that plays during the credits, Eye for an Eye. Number 91. One character in John Wick Chapter 4 that particularly stands out is Klaus, a member of the Ruska Roma. He's played by Sven Marquardt. Number 92. While not an actor, Marquardt is famous all on his own, as the notoriously discerning bouncer of Berlin's hyper-exclusive techno club Berghain. Number 93. Even the techno club that John Wick fights Klaus in is a reference to the Berghain where Marquardt works. Number 94. And you see all those tattoos and piercings on his face? That's not makeup to make the character look scarier. That's Sven Marquardt's normal day-to-day look. Number 95. John Wick doesn't say much in the movie, but Klaus says even less. All he says is, "I am Klaus." If you were wondering, yes, that is a reference to Groot's now iconic I am Groot from the MCU. Number 96. The goof actually started out as a simple line placeholder in an early version of the script. Before the character was cast, the writers had the character simply say I am Klaus until they could give him proper dialogue. Well, the bit ended up being so funny that they just left it in. Number 97. Chapter 4 was initially intended to be filmed and released alongside Chapter 5 as a kind of double feature. However, Chapter 5 was dropped at some point for unknown reasons. Number 98. In some regions, the movie isn't simply called John Wick Chapter 4, but it has the additional subtitle of Baba Yaga. Number 99. According to an accidental leak from Shamir Anderson, the movie was originally going to be called John Wick Chapter 4, Hagakure. Number 100. The music for John Wick Chapter 4 was done by Tyler Bates and Joel J. Richard. They also did the score for the first 3 John Wicks. Number 101. Chapter 4 also features EDM music from famous EDM artists Gesaffelstein and Justice. There's lots of French music because the third act largely takes place in Paris. Number 102. With all the stunts done, the filming wrapped, and the effects all tied together, John Wick Chapter 4 released on March 24th, 2023. Number 103. At one point, the release date was pushed back from the revised release date of May 27th to avoid going up against Top Gun Maverick, which released the same day. Number 104. Worldwide, John Wick Chapter 4 has pulled in $251.8 million in gross as of April 5th, 2023. It garnered $29.4 million on its first day alone. Number 105. This makes it the best opening day of the whole John Wick series, and the best for an R-rated movie since the start of the pandemic in March 2020. Number 106. For the ending, while things look grim, Stahelski has said that he leaves it up to the fans to decide whether or not John Wick is truly dead. Number 107. As for Keanu Reeves, he says that he's down for John Wick 5, but only if Stahelski is involved. Beyond that, he said he hopes that John Wick has found his peace. In the meantime, you can find peace in the fact that Keanu Reeves will reappear as John Wick in Ballerina at the very least. As for John Wick's future, if he has one, we'll just have to wait and see. If you are waiting for more 107s like this one, make sure you subscribe to Cinematica.
Did you enjoy our list? What facts do you think we missed? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're there, like and subscribe to see more great videos every week. And remember, Frederator loves you.